You made a decision last week that you knew, even while making it, was wrong. Maybe your boss put you on the spot. You wanted to look decisive, so you said yes to something you weren't sure about. Or you said no, and now you're wondering if you just tanked an opportunity. Here's what's wild. This wasn't a one-time thing. You've done this before. You'll probably do it again next week. Not because you're not smart enough, not because you don't care, but because your brain has a blind spot, a predictable, exploitable blind spot, the same blind spot that trips up executives, surgeons, and Nobel Prize-winning psychologists. In the next 9 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what that blind spot is, why it exists, and most importantly, how to catch it before it sabotages your next big decision. Welcome to Book Takeaways for Professional Growth, where we transform the world's most important books into actionable frameworks you can use in your professional life today. I am your host, Sophia. Let's fix this. Segment 1. Welcome and the Promise. Before we go any further, let me be crystal clear about what this channel is and what it's not. This is not a book summary channel. You know those channels where someone regurgitates the Wikipedia version of a bestseller and you feel like you learned something but couldn't actually use it if your career depended on it? Not here. This is a transformation through action channel. Every episode follows the same structure. 1. I identify a real professional problem you're facing right now. 2. I give you one framework from a world-class book that solves it. 3. I show you a real example of that framework in action. 4. You get one specific thing to do today before the episode even ends. Here's our process. We read the dense books, the neuroscience, the psychology, the behavioral economics, the negotiation tactics, the stuff that actually changes how decisions get made. And then we ask one question: what's the one insight from this book that would fundamentally shift how someone approaches their work? Not 10 takeaways, not everything in the book, just the one insight so powerful it changes your entire lens. That's what we bring you, twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays at 6 AM EST. Episodes are 15 to 20 minutes max, never longer, because I know you're busy. Your time is valuable, and if an episode doesn't deliver something you can actually use, you'll switch to something else. So we make damn sure every episode earns your attention. And when you're done, you can tell it like you've read it. Segment 2. The problem you're facing. Let me guess why you're here. You probably fall into one of these 3 categories. Category 1, you want to read the important books. Thinking, Fast and Slow, Never Split the Difference. The neuroscience books that explain how your brain actually works. But you're drowning. Emails, back-to-back meetings, actual work. The idea of reading a 500-page academic book feels laughable, and honestly, you feel guilty about it. Category 2. You've tried the long-form podcast deep dives. They're great, but they're 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. You're already juggling 5 other podcasts. Where exactly are you supposed to fit this in? Category 3. You make decisions every day. Some of them are wrong, and here's the kicker. You know they're wrong while you're making them, but something in your brain overrides your better judgment, and you don't know how to stop it. It's costing you opportunities, relationships, credibility, money. If any of those sound familiar, you're in the right place. But that third one, that's what this channel is really about, because it's not about having more information, it's about catching yourself before you screw up. Segment 3. The blind spot and why it matters. So here's what's actually happening in your brain. You make decisions in 2 fundamentally different ways. Your fast brain, what neuroscientists call System 1. It's automatic, runs on emotion and pattern recognition. When you see someone's face, System 1 recognizes it instantly. When someone cuts you off in traffic, System 1 gets angry before you even register what happened. System 1 is incredibly powerful. It's also incredibly lazy. It wants to conserve energy, so it gives you the first answer that feels right, even when that answer is dead wrong. Then there's your slow brain. System 2, deliberate, analytical, requires focus and mental energy. When you're doing complex calculations or making a genuinely thoughtful strategic decision, you're using System 2. System 2 is accurate, but it's expensive. It drains your mental battery fast. Here's the problem. Your brain defaults to System 1 whenever possible. You make roughly 70% of your important decisions on autopilot, and you don't even realize it. You feel like you're thinking carefully, like you're being rational and deliberate, but you're actually running a program your brain has run 1,000 times before. Same inputs, same outputs, same mistakes. And here's where the blind spot becomes dangerous. System 1 is supremely confident, even when it's catastrophically wrong. Especially when it's wrong. That's why you second-guess yourself after big decisions. That's why you realize 3 weeks later you made a massive mistake. It's not because you're incompetent. It's because your brain has a design flaw, an evolutionary blind spot. But here's the good news. Once you see the blind spot, you can stop falling into it. You can learn to recognize when System 1 is hijacking your decisions and deliberately switch to System 2 when it actually matters. That's the entire foundation of everything we do here. Segment 4, what you'll get in Episode 1. The very next episode, Episode 1, is called The Decision You Made This Morning and Why It Was Probably Wrong. It's based on Daniel Kahneman's Thinking, Fast and Slow, one of the most important books on decision-making ever written. In that episode, you're going to learn, first, how your two systems actually work, not buried in jargon, but shown through examples from your actual professional life. Meetings, negotiations, high-stakes emails. Second, 3 specific questions you can ask yourself before any major decision that will instantly tell you whether you're on autopilot or actually thinking. You can test these questions today, and I guarantee by this afternoon you'll catch yourself making at least one decision differently. Third, a real example from my own week, an email I almost sent that would have damaged an important relationship. But I didn't send it because I recognized System 1 was running the show. Fourth, one specific practice you can use starting right now, the pause, a simple 10-second technique that interrupts autopilot and activates deliberate thinking. By the end of Episode 1, you'll have a framework that changes how you see every decision you make going forward. Not just at work, everywhere. Segment 5. What happens next? All right, here's what I need from you. 1. Subscribe right now. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening. 2 episodes a week, Monday and Wednesday, 6 a.m. Eastern Time. If you don't subscribe, you'll forget this exists, and you'll miss the frameworks that could genuinely change your career trajectory. 2. Actually do the action steps. Don't just listen and nod. That 10-second pause I mentioned, try it today, before your next meeting, before you send that email you're about to fire off in frustration. See what happens. I'm genuinely curious. 3. If Episode 1 hits you, if it makes you think, oh, that's why I keep doing that, share it. Share it with a colleague who needs it. Someone you work with who's struggling with the same pattern. Someone who keeps making decisions they regret. This isn't for me, it's for them. You came here because you want to grow. You want to make better decisions. You want to understand how your brain actually works instead of stumbling through your career on autopilot, wondering why the same problems keep showing up. You're in the right place, so let's keep growing. I'll see you in Episode 1.